Sometimes the most important lessons in life arrive quietly. They come not through applause or success, but through waiting, through doubt, and through continuing even when no one seems to care. This is Daniel's story, and if you have ever worked hard in silence, it might feel like yours. Daniel was 20, a college student with a dream and an old laptop that overheated every night. When the world went to sleep, he sat alone in his small room, editing videos, fixing mistakes, and re-recording lines again and again. Before clicking upload, he always paused for a second, whispered a small prayer, and smiled with hope. The next morning, he checked his phone. 12 views. No comments, no new subscribers. He stared at the screen for a long time and murmured, "Maybe tomorrow." Tomorrow came, then another, then weeks passed. The numbers barely moved, but the effort never stopped. One evening at dinner, his cousin smirked and said, "You're still doing that YouTube thing? Bro, nobody gets famous like that." His father looked at him kindly, but with worry. "Daniel, dreams are beautiful," he said softly, "but don't lose yourself chasing them." Daniel nodded, forcing a smile, but his chest felt heavy. That night, he sat on his bed with his laptop open and the cursor blinking on an unfinished video. For the first time, he didn't upload. He closed the screen, rubbed his eyes, and whispered into the quiet room, "What if I'm just wasting my time?" The silence gave no answer. A few days later, he visited his grandfather in the village, a place where mornings were slow and evenings didn't rush into night. His grandfather watched him carefully and said, "You look tired, my boy. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes." He sighed. "I work every day. I give everything, but nothing is happening." His father nodded, as if he understood completely. "Come with me tomorrow morning," he said. "I want to show you something." At sunrise, they walked to the backyard. The air smelled of earth and dew. In the corner stood a small mango tree, thin, quiet, and almost forgettable. Daniel looked at it and asked, "This?" His grandfather smiled. "I planted it 7 years ago." Daniel turned to him in surprise. 7 years? But it's still so small. His grandfather placed his hand on the soil and said gently, "For the first 3 years, nothing grew above the ground." Daniel frowned. "Then why didn't you stop? Why didn't you think it had failed?" His grandfather looked at him for a long moment and said very calmly, "Because roots grow before fruits." The words sank deep. Most people give up because they expect noise before growth, but the strongest work happens in silence, where no one is watching. Daniel felt something shift inside him. For the first time, his struggle didn't feel like weakness, it felt like preparation. When he returned home, he uploaded again, not with desperation and not with anger, but with patience. He focused on small improvements, one better story, one cleaner edit, one honest line at a time. The views stayed low, but he kept going. Weeks later, one video did a little better. It wasn't viral, it was just noticed. A comment appeared, "This helped me." Another said, "I felt this." Daniel stared at the screen, his eyes filling with tears. It wasn't the numbers, it was the connection. Months passed. Slowly and quietly, the channel grew, one subscriber at a time, one view at a time. There were no shortcuts and no miracles. One evening, his father looked at his phone and said, "Surprised? People are really watching you now." Daniel smiled softly. They were always watching, just not immediately. That night, he messaged his grandfather, "You were right, roots grow in silence." The reply came quickly, "And those who wait taste the sweetest fruit." If you're working hard and no one notices yet, don't stop. Silence does not mean failure, It means growth is happening where eyes cannot see. Success doesn't reward speed, it rewards patience. So keep showing up. Keep going even when no one claps and even when no one believes. Because one day, when you finally bloom, people will ask how it happened, and only you will know how long you were growing in silence.